Welcome to today's session. Alright, so we proceed from where we stopped. In the last class, we look at our first project. We look at how we created our first design in Pixel Lab. So what we learned so far is how to open Pixel Lab and how to get started. We've covered the interface, the UI, and we look at how we added text and shape and image. So in this class, we proceed from there, still on our first design. So what we'll be doing is we'll be working further on our first design. So in this video, I will cover everything from start. I will not delay much because we've already done that. So what I will do is I will begin a design. I will design what we did in our last class and then come up with few improvement and talk about the design in general, and then see what we can recap from our previous knowledge and then what we can produce all together. Alright, so we started by creating a blank design. So when you open your Pixel Lab, this is what you see. So I'll head straight to blank document. Now from here, this is the first trick that I will show you, or first important thing to know. And when it comes to Pixel Lab, by default, if you go to image size, all you see is 1280 pixel by 1280 pixel, which is a square. It's a very good resolution, but then the product or the result will look a little bit low. That is, the quality of the output may be low. So what I do personally is I increase this resolution. Now I'm only telling you this based on experience. This is not something you learn while learning Pixel Lab. It's something you have to get to know while you work with Pixel Lab. So for starters, what I will advise you to do, if you are designing anything, what you do is you multiply what is here by 3. What I mean is that I always ensure if I'm working for a client that my resolution are in thousands of 3 and above. So I'll come here. Since it's a square design, it doesn't really matter the other numbers. All I will do is I will change the 3. This will give me the image in higher quality. So as you are seeing, the aspect ratio is still 1:1, which is balanced. So I'll now go on. Okay, nothing changes really. All that changes is the quality of output and work, and then the resolution here. Alright, so I will begin by adding the image. Or let's start with the shape. So I'll add this shape. I believe that's what we did, and I believe we did something like this. I'll reduce it. Okay, maybe increase it a bit, and then keep it here. I think that's what we did in the previous class. Then I will now add a shape. I will not use the same image. I will work based on the exercise I gave you from the last class. Alright, so I will add in the exercise I gave you options of pictures to use for the design to recreate something. This is to ensure that you can recreate something even if it is different properties or tools or objects you have at your disposal. Alright, so I will make use of one of the image which is here, this one. Now let me talk about this screen. Now adding it like this is not there is nothing wrong with adding it like this, but then if you look at the spacing, there is too much spacing here, so it will give you issue when you are trying to tap another layer and then it falls within this range. So what I usually do is I reduce it as close as I can. This is so that even if I'm trying to touch other things, I may not accidentally touch this. Alright, so I believe this is where it was. Okay, let me look at your work. Alright, so sorry about this. I'll check on. Okay, yeah, this is where you put yours. Okay, so the next thing I'll increase. The reason why I checked you on your work is because there's something I want to explain to you about the work you did. Alright, so I'll leave it black, move it out a bit and down a bit. Alright, So I think the next thing we added was hello. Okay, I'm trying to recreate your design. Okay, so these are the fonts you use. Alright, so let me not delay too much on your design. Let me just use any fonts and explain what I want to explain for today's class. Alright, I believe it's something fancy. So I'll go to my fonts, look for something like this. Alright. Alright, so I'll add another text, probably white. My face work. Alright, so reduce the size a bit, and then here it is. We have it here. Alright, so let me begin properly by continuing. Alright, so let's look at how we can, let's get into today's class properly. Alright, so first of all, I would like to recap on a few of the previous classes we did, especially color. So now I'll give you some hints that goes with design. Now when it comes to graphic design, one important thing you should note is that the images you use or the backgrounds you use are mostly determined by the major image colors that are in one of the images you are using. So what I'm saying here is that if you look at the picture of this guy that I'm using, it has ash and something dark green, deep, very dark. Alright, there is nothing like red. So now the reason why we use red in the previous tags is because that lady has some red stuff around her. So my first suggestion is that if you have an image that you are going to make use of in your design, always use that image to pick out your colors, especially when there is no specific color given to you. And if there is a color given to you as a graphic designer, always make sure that the images you are using align with that color as well. Alright, so here I will begin by changing this red color. Let me begin with that. So I'll come here actually. Okay, I think it rhyme a bit. So I'll leave it here. I think I like the hello. Alright, so I'll go to text here and then edit a bit. Alright, now still on today's class, one of the things I would like you to learn in this class is how to work with text as well. Now you already know how to add text, so I won't delay you much there. But when working with text, you can as well as ensure that the fonts you use are balanced. You remember balance from our principle. Make sure that everything is balanced. It's not too much. It's simple. That's what I mean by balance. So I'll use something like this. And then maybe for the hello I'll add something like this. Okay, if you notice I use line spacing on this hello, something that you should always remember to make use of. Alright, so I will reduce the size in here to like 30 and then extend the sideline spacing as well. Alright, so this is what we are learning. Alright, so cool. I think we have a nice design. So I will re-edit this thing. The shadow is too much. So I'll reduce the shadow. It's very important that when you're using something you don't overuse them. So I'll reduce them a bit. Then I'll come to color. I will try to give it a little bit light so that it will be like a shadow instead. Alright, I think then I'll change the color of this my first wall. Maybe give it something gray or light over ash. Let me go back to color instead of gray. Then I'll look for something like this, almost white but not white. I think it's okay like this. So maybe the next thing I'll do, remember I'm just trying to show you how to create cool designs. Alright, so I will not take on much. The next I will do is I will show you how to create this, how to add. So we'll talk on how to make the design a little bit cool. So maybe I can start by giving it a border down here, shape here. So now always remember to tap on your shape, go to color. Remember color is good. Alright, so I'll look for the color that match up with what I have up there. Actually, so I'll go deep like this. I think deeper a bit. Alright, so I think I'll extend it a bit. Alright, so I think I'll leave the image like this. Alright, so are you still with me? Let me increase the size of the image a bit. Alright, so let me move this one a bit up. Actually, there is something you need to learn about. We get to layers, but let me just do something briefly. You can tap on the layer, tap on this good and cancel means mark. I will mark the shapes 1, 2, 3. I will tap on here and then use movement here, and I move everything together at once. So the next thing is I will do is I will add a simple logo. Whichever logo you have or whichever logo is attached can be used. So I'll just pick a logo that rhymes with the color. Let's say this works for me. So I'll use the circle here to crop it in a circle. Actually, that's how you import image in cycle. So I'll leave the logo around here and then maybe give it a cool name. Now this logo and name that I'm using may not be logo for anything. I'm just creating them now. So now let me just see. Collins. I hope the spelling is correct. So I'll leave the Collins, come to fonts here. Yeah, as well as learning logo here. I'll do this now. So I will change the color. This is just something to make our design look cool. Alright, so maybe I will try this color and then ensure it's 30. Collins design. Okay, maybe I should leave it like this and then the logo. Alright, so we have something there, but I think I like it better when it's here. So I'll just leave it here and then maybe add some shape. Alright, so we have something there. So here I will use this. Remember I sent some icons to you, so I'll make use of the icons. I'll come to my gallery. It's easier for me to find them here. Alright, so I'll come to icons. I don't get the folder here, I'll just make use of. Alright, so I think okay, 120. I'll pick up this icon. Okay, I'll reduce the size. So just something to give you an idea of how designs are done. We are still learning. I wouldn't want to do so much thing so that you don't get confused. So let me just say at Collins design. I think this does it. I'll reduce the size. 25 is okay. 24, let me reduce the size of the icon as well. 4 is okay. 4 works for me. I think this is okay. So I'll add another icon. Okay, so keep following me. This will be our task for today. Today is Saturday, weekend. We are not going to do much. Alright, let me look for my general icons. Where is download? So I'll look at general icons here. Facebook. Don't mind me, I have so many pictures, so many designs, so many icons on my phone. I just hope my voice is loud enough. Sorry about that. Alright, actually there's no need to delete too much here. Instead I will just create it. So what I was looking for is just a Facebook icon. So I'll just add the shape, square. I'll add the letter F, a small letter. I will increase the size of the text. Alright, so I will increase the size of the text. Now there is something about increasing the size. When you are increasing size of the text, remember I said we'll be learning about text tool and shape as well. When you're increasing the size of the text, it's limited to 253 through here. But using these knots here, you can increase it beyond that point. Alright, so I will tap it something like this. I will centralize everything as well as centralize the shape, but then I'll move it up so that it meets with the border. Okay, and this is okay. So the next thing I will tap the shape. Remember I said we'll learn about shape. So when you are dealing with shape, you can tap the shape anytime, go to edit, and you will see this radius. Radius means the curve at the edges. Are you seeing? Look at where my halo is. This is how the edge, the curve changes. Alright, so I'll now give it a go. I will tap on layers. I will tap on this mark. I'll mark this too. There's something about margin which you learn in the next class. So when you tap and mark object, you tap the third listing. It will ask you, do you want to merge? I will say yes. Now it has become one image. Alright, so I'll now resize it to 4 as well, so that I meet up with the other one. I'll send it to the bottom and then move it up. Okay, so I'll duplicate this Collins design and then drag it here as well. Alright, so I'll move this down a bit so that it becomes center. This one down a bit as well. I'll just fix on one thing and then we are done for this. I'll mark all the listing, Collins design, social media handles, and then use relative movements to centralize them, giving them the same distance at the edges of the side edges. So we have this, and I have my Collins here. Sorry, let me edit this thing. Line, are you seeing? Line graphic. Oh, let me give it a let me put it this way: brand your business. Your business. Do your this is okay. Brand your business. I'll now add text here and type width. I'll come to a font. Remember, you can also download fonts online. I've showed you in one of the video. So I'll make use of one of the fonts I have. Alright, so are you seeing the font? I'll actually reduce it a bit. I'll increase the distance. And I'll say okay. So I'll come to your registration details and copy your full name. One of our students. I'll come to your just so you know, this particular class was created specially for you. As you can see, I'm using everything related to your work, previous work, or the name. Alright, so this video is long. Maybe what I'll do is I'll divide it into two. And what I got the design well, I got the name well. So I'll now come to WhatsApp. Okay, this is not tutorial. Alright, so I'll copy, come back here, come with your name here. Move the line spacing. I'll move this image small. So I'll use black here and use the dark green here. Alright, okay, let me just leave it here. I'm thinking of making it a little bit cool. I think there's nothing wrong with this. So what I was thinking normally was maybe I should do this. Come here and ensure that it's behind. So this is where this option comes in. I'll come for the name. I'll give it a white color. Oh, this color is okay. So this is what I was looking for. And maybe I'll add another image that can be used like design stuff, just a background, something to use as a background. Alright, so I'll pick one of the images I sent you as well. I'll add it, I'll draw it. Don't worry about what I'm doing. So I'll bring it to this side where it will be visible. Maybe I should reduce it. Alright, so I think it's going to be visible here. So I'll now come and say send to the back. That's what I intentionally do. Alright, so from here I can come here to opacity and reduce it very much. Maybe 20 will do. Alright, so right here you see, and we are done. This is practically what we'll be doing for today. Maybe I should move the image bigger. Great. And this is okay. This is okay. So I'll now export the work. I'll export, and then we are done. Okay, so we are learning about shapes a bit, and then we've learned about text a bit, working with text as well. So we've learned how to increase line spacing in the text. Although you already know all these things, I'm just showing you the practical application. And then one of the importance is that you learn about simple designs. Simple things put together can be creative. So this is what we've done for today. I'll be expecting the same work with you. I think this is a simple design. It's similar thing that was done here. Simple designs give creative stuff, and they are mostly what is used for marketing. Simple designs. So do enjoy your day and your week. See you next week.